الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون صدق الله العظيم. Dear brothers and sisters, the topic which I selected today is how to seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In these ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the very first ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying how to seek help. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O believers, istaeenu bis-sabri was-salah. Seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you have to have two qualities. Number one, you got to be patient, And number two, you have to establish the salat. Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin. Surely Allah is with those people who are patient. When a believer is patient, offer salat. What is salat? Salat is your meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us 5 times a day an opportunity to have a meeting with Him. That's why when we start salat, the very first takbir is called takbir-e-tahrima. Why it's called tahrima? Once you say Allahu Akbar, then everything which is worldly affairs become haram. Because now you are in the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, cut off from everything else. But unfortunately, as human beings, we cannot all do that. Although Sahaba Ikram and Awliya, they always, whenever they get into the prayer, they forget everything, including their body. And there are some instances, because there was no anesthesia, and sometimes they had a wound like that they had to cut the limb. And they would say, wait until he starts his prayer. And the only way to stop the blood flow is to burn it with boiling oil or something like that. And when they cut the limb, burn it, and the person is still in salat. And after he finished the salat, he said, I smell some burning. Now, look at us. If there is one mosquito coming, the whole stuff go like this, the way we are today. A wasp or something come in. But unfortunately, we have to start putting it up that we are in the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and cut off from this. If we have a salat like that and we have patience, then we get into another realm, completely another realm. What is that? When Allah says, Inna Allaha ma'as sabirin, Allah is with, you are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that time. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَلَا تَقُولُوا لَمَنْ يُقْتَلُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتٍ. Do not say those people who are slain in the path of Allah, who give their life in the path of Allah, the shuhada, amwat, that they are dead. Bal ahyaun, nay, they are alive. Walakin la tashurun, but you cannot perceive it. Then Allah is saying, Wala nabluwannakum bishay'in min al-khawf. Surely we are going to test you. These are the tests. Bishay'in min al-khawf, fear. Wal-ju'i, famine. Wa-naqs min al-amwal, loss of property. Wal-anfus, loss of life. Wath-thamarat, and fruit of your labor. These are the tests from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we can see that our brother and sister in this trip for Gaza, they are going through all this test at the same time. Day and night, they are facing the bombs, and they don't know where they are going to strike and who is going to be shaheed. They cut off their food supplies, they're facing hunger also. All their properties are destroyed, and all their fruit of labor is gone. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. But give good news, good tidings to those who endure with patience. الَّذِينَ إِذَا أَصَابَتْهُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا. Any time any affliction hit them, they are facing afflictions, they say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. We are for Allah, and to Allah we are going to return. Look at different things, and one time I was looking at one of the video, and one from the Gaza Strip, a sister who was holding the baby who was just hit by the bombing and died. And she was holding that baby. You know what she was saying? Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Look at ourselves. If we are in the same situation, what we would be doing? This shows their iman. And that strip is not more than downtown Houston. And 6 months, day and night, they are being bombed. But they still didn't win anything. From worldly point of view, we know that we have lost more than 34,000 of our brothers, sisters, and children. But all those 34,000 are in paradise, are having a better life. The test is for the rest of the Muslim Ummah, that what Muslim countries are doing. We know even along with that non-Muslims and even our students, universities, Yale University, Columbia University, when reputable university students go and protest against that, what's going on, because we as Americans are a part of it. We are supporting the oppressor. And we should be all the time talking to our congressmen and senators that we should not be supporting the oppressors, because everybody getting killed over there, we are a part of that. That's our responsibility, that we should hold up to that. And those students in the protests are being arrested. For what? That why you are against Israel? Why you are in favor of Palestine? What happened to our Constitution? What our Constitution of the United States stands for? Life, liberty, justice, and pursuit of happiness. These are not the words even to start the Constitution of the United States. Why we are not upholding to our own values? Are we trying to make United States a Jewish state? Our constitution gives freedom to every religion, not to one. And freedom of expression is one of our rights, which they are using in those universities. And I was really happy that the faculty of Columbia University, including their president, go on and say that without our permission, no police should come onto the campus. And all those people arrested, students arrested, must be released, or we want a due process for that. So at least our faculty members are standing up with that also. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look at this. All those people who bear with patience and say, we are for Allah and to Allah we are going to return. أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَّبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ. Look at what a beauty. What an honor. أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ, such are the people, صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَّبِّهِمْ, are being saluted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by their Rabb. Warahma, and His mercy. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُهْتَدُونَ, and such are the people who are rightly guided. Dear brothers and sisters, even our former President Jimmy Carter, what he said? He said, Gaza is an open prison. And he is right. When they say that this is war between two, there is war between the two entities which are equal. On one side, they have nothing more than stones. On the other side, they have everything which can be possible, one of the best in the world. No, when that is a prison, in the prison, the guards cannot say we are having the equality. No, it's not. But inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help those brothers and sisters, and all we have to do is that we do our job, put a pressure on our own senators and congressmen, and protest. At least we can do that. So inshallah, we'll be all involved in the things like that. The other thing which I wanted to bring to your attention in this is we just go through the rigorous training of 1 month of fasting. And the objective of fasting is to gain taqwa. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So to gain taqwa. What is taqwa? It has a lot of meanings, but one basic thing is fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, self-restraint. In the month of Ramadan, when we are fasting, even if we are alone, nobody is watching, nobody is there, but we still don't eat or drink. Why? Because we know Allah is watching. Is Allah watching only during the month of Ramadan that we eat or drink or not? No, of course not. He is watching 24/7. Every second of our life, He is watching. And if you know He is watching, why in the world will make something which will make Him angry against His injunctions, against the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We normally give zakat during the month of Ramadan. If we have not calculated and paid the zakat, we should all do that, because that's the third pillar of Islam. If we have not executed a will, Islamic will, because we live in a non-Muslim country, local laws are not according to Sharia, but we have the ability, we have the right to enforce Sharia relating to our own family and our assets. And that is enforced through Islamic will. And Islamic will is valid in all 50 states of the United States. You make a will that my assets be distributed according to Islamic law, and local courts are going to enforce it for you if you do that. The other thing which I wanted to bring to your attention is one other thing, that we got to realize why Iblis, who was once very reputable and pious person, that even being a jinn, he was elevated to the assembly of angels when Adam ﷺ was created. How Iblis become shaitan? Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked to bow down to Adam, all angels did, Iblis did not. Why? Because he said, I'm better than him. خَلَقْتَنِي مِن نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِن طِينٍ. You created me out of fire and him out of dust. So I'm better than him. Why a better person is going to bow down to an inferior? What's called takabbur. That takabbur is the one which make Iblis shaitan. And takabbur is the one which is a problem with all of us, one way or the other. We have problem with our families, we have problem with our children, our community, everything, and the basic cause for that is kibr. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam very clearly said, if anyone even have an iota of a kibr, will not enter paradise. What is kibr? And how to understand a little bit better? Let me give you an example so that we can gauge ourselves. Sometimes we think we are not making takabbur. We are not. No. But we don't realize that we are doing it. For example, let's give my example. I'm one of the forerunners of the Islamic Society of Greater Houston. I'm also the incorporator of IEIT, full-time Islamic schools. We have, alhamdulillah, 6 full-time high schools now. I'm also an incorporator of IIK, the Institute of Islamic Knowledge. These two are the subsidiaries of the Islamic Society of Greater Houston. Let's say there is a function going on, and nobody take my name. And if I say, why they did not mention me? This is also a kibr. If somebody is working hard during the whole month of Ramadan, at the end you are recognizing a few brothers, and that brother who was working the most, either you did not recognize him, or you take his name at the end. And he said, why? I'm the first one doing everything. Why they take my name at the end? That's also a symptom of kibr. So we'll never ever think that I am better than the other people. Always think all other brothers are better than me. That is the way we should behave. And if we start behaving like this, there will be no more rift and there will be no more problem. I'm one of the trustees of the North American Islamic Trust, and this property is in trust also. So I'm trustee of this property also. The reason why I'm mentioning is there are a few problems going on. They are going to the court against each other in Dallas, in 2-3 other places. Board members against board members. Trustees against board members. They all think that they're working for the cause of Islam. If they are working for the cause of Islam, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why they are going against each other in the court system? When Allah has completely forbidden to go to Tawut for decision. It's Allah's direct order. We should be reconciling our differences through arbitration. And that arbitration is recognized by the law of the United States. And arbitration decisions are enforceable even by the local court system. Then why we are doing that? And unfortunately, sometime I had to personally go there to resolve that issue. But that's not good. Working for masajid, working for the centers, we shouldn't be using our senses and going to Islamic values because we are under obligation to do that. Last time I was here, I mentioned about a salat. These are available. You can get it from the main center or get it directly from the institute, one of the subsidiary. And this is the first question on the Day of Judgment about salat. And we make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes we offer the salat which is not even acceptable. You have to repeat your salat. If I had time, I could explain it more, but these will be inshallah available. And that's how Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam offered his salat, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. Offer the prayer as you see me offering the prayer. What are the pillars? What are wajibat? What are sunan? These are all listed here. Then we also put up for the dawah programs, what is Islam, who are the Muslims? At least if you have not read it yourself or your co-workers where you're doing, we are under obligation to do that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to do the best we can. I'll mention a couple of other things in the second part. I did not realize that I'm getting through the time. And pray to Allah, may Allah respond to our prayers. Innahu ta'ala jawadun qadeem, kareemum malikum ar-raufur. Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear brothers and sisters, there will be one over there called Dawah Department, ISGH Dawah Department. We need volunteers for Dawah programs in our center here and other centers. So please volunteer to that. Take a copy And if you would like to be a part of our department, our team, please fill up that. A copy of this khutbah, I could not finish everything. It is going to be over there. Please take a copy so that you can see yourself. There was one other project which is going to be very shortly going on, Global Peace Center. Alhamdulillah, we acquired almost 14 acres of land next to the Intercontinental Airport on the freeway. That will be our first masjid on the freeway. So inshallah, if you would like to get more information, some flyers will be there and we will get more information. The other thing is, alhamdulillah, copies of the Quran. You want to be a part of this. We have distributed more than 630,000 copies. We are printing right now 25,000 copies now. If you would like to be a part of that, then there will be some envelopes, mission of conveying the message of Allah. You can be a part of that and get reward for 25,000 copies. Inshallah, you will be able to do that. And also, we'll inshallah make these booklets available. And one brother was saying you don't have it in the center. We'll inshallah have it in Spanish and in English. Both will be available. I have some in the car. I'll leave it over here. The others will send it. But our associate director, they should request and get this in the centers, the copies of the Quran and also this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. Allahumma aizil Islam wal Muslimin. Allahumma man akiyatahu minna fa'akihil al-Islam. ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان اللهم إنا نسألك إيمانا مستقيما وفضلا دائما ونذرا رحمة وعقلا نافعا وقلبا منورا وإيمانا توفيقا واقم الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولا ذكر الله تعالى أعلى وعز وجل وأهم وأعظم وأكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Shoulder to shoulder. Please, there's still some more room. Straighten up your lines and pray as if it's the last prayer for life. Allah Akbar. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون. ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إن الذين يكتمون ما أنزلنا من البينات والهدى من بعد ما بيناه للناس في الكتاب أولئك يلعنهم الله ويلعنهم اللائمون إلا الذين تابوا وأصلحوا وبينوا فأولئك أتوب عليهم وأنا التواب الرحيم. إن الذين كفروا وماتوا وهم كفار أولئك عليهم لعنة الله والملائكة والناس أجمعين خالدين فيها لا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينذرون وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. अस्सलामु अलैकुम रहमतुल्लाह। अस्सलामु अलैकुम रहमतुल्लाह।